Okay. One thing I wanted to ask you to begin with, because of England, it being in England, uh, boxing is I've covered boxing for a long time, and I just want to know why. Maybe you were boxing at one point, but why you kind of gravitated over to mixed martial arts and not boxing, because that's the birthplace of it.
Yeah, boxing was always it was always the obvious choice. So I think that's why I avoided it. I always boxing was always a big part of my training camp, and I trained and sparred with a lot of boxers, over the years. But I don't know. I always liked the dynamic of the sport of mixed martial arts. The ability to use other weapons as well as just the boxing. And I think boxing is a very important part of mixed martial arts. But the bigger picture obviously is the mixed rules. And it just suits me better. I came from a taekwondo background and a Muay Thai background, so the kicking and kneeing was a big part for me as well. So can't be kneeing people in a boxing match. Nobody would be very happy about that.
All right. Well, have you hung around people like other fighters like boxers, Ricky Hatton, for example? I mean, have you seen them? I wondered how they respond to you.
Boxers always seem to be, they're a little bit unsure of us, but always quite respectful. I actually trained with Freddie Rocha a little while as well.
Right.
I used to live around the corner from Wildcard, so I was there most days and got some good sparring sessions in there and stuff. But yeah, there's always kind of a, like you don't belong here kind of feeling in a boxing gym. But generally boxers are very supportive, and obviously they understand how difficult our sport is as well.
Right.
The problem is we've kind of been turned against each other, because it's always this MMA versus boxing thing, which is not really necessary. I mean, we don't argue whether baseball is better than ice hockey. They're very different sports. It's
we all know baseball's better. So that's why we don't argue it over here.
And that's where we disagree, because I like hockey. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's, they're different sports, and they both have a place in the world, and I think that the more boxers and MMA fighters train together, the better both sports will be.
Right.
And we can feed off each other's popularity as
Sure.
well, because sometimes boxing's the big thing, and sometimes MMA's the big thing, and I think if we're connected a little more, we can all raise our game.
Well, you're an ambassador now, so you're going to kind of bridge the gap between the two.
I've got to retire before I'm an ambassador, I think.
Do you follow golf at all?
Really, no.
Ian Poulter? I mean,
No, not really.
Oh, okay. I thought we'd get into that a little bit, because of the Euros winning the Ryder Cup last year was a big thing. If you're into golf. But.
I'm very much in agreement with Winston Churchill on boxing. It ruins a nice walk in the country.
Now, it wasn't Winston Churchill. That was Mark Twain, they say, that said
really?
that. But
Okay.
Churchill did make a comment about how ridiculous it was, giving you you don't have the proper tools in order to hit the thing or something. But that was actually Mark Twain.
Was it? Okay.
It's always you British that are trying to take credit for everything. I'm just kidding you. I don't want to get you mad at me. What happened with the hair now?
It was just time for a change, I'll be honest. I think the mohawk was such an obvious signature of mine for so long. And,
Yeah.
I've started seeing a lot more people with them as well now, and the Ultimate Fighter's usually got a guy with a mohawk on there, and they're usually the guy that drinks too much and starts yelling at the top of their voice at inappropriate times, and I'm just not that kind of person, so I don't really want to be associated with that, and until the mohawk loses that stigma, which I feel that's been kind of built around it, I'm ready for a change. So,
you look good with it,
this
but
is my old school 1940s boxing.
There you go. You look like a throwback now. That's good. Okay. And finally, just about Matt Brown, the fight coming up. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great fight. He's the kind of guy that you don't have to look for. He's always right in front of you. He's a tough guy. He always pushes the pace, and he makes a fight out of it every time. And really, that's all you want in an opponent. Because if you're constantly chasing the guy, and it's not a fun fight. And I'm not fighting to chase people around. I want someone to really test me, and Matt Brown's the guy to do it.
All right. Well, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking some time, and I'm going to be pulling for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate everything you do. Thanks very much, Dan.
It's always good talking to you.